Hello, hello. I've arrived. So, let's see. Today, we're going to be playing Jamestown. Plus, again. Been a little bit since we've done that, huh? But yes. So, I think, if I remember correctly, I had initially planned to do the additional content that was added in Jamestown Plus after I finished, the main game of Jamestown Plus, or sort of the portions of Jamestown Plus that were in Jamestown 1. Actually, you know what? Yeah, we'll talk about this once we're in the game. I want to try and get through the intro a little bit quicker. But yes. So, schedule. Today, we're playing Jamestown Plus, as you may have guessed. Tomorrow, we're going to be continuing Destiny 2, Forsaken. We're going to be aiming for, more of the story than just one mission. Of course, there is also, well, I guess we'll talk about that later as well. Don't want to get distracted. So, tomorrow, Destiny 2. Next week, Tuesday, we will be continuing the weekly collab series with Altariana, Sheppy Sheps, and Judah Kami. But yes, probably more Borderlands the pre-sequel, but who knows? Anything could happen. Anything could happen at any time, but we are expecting to start at about 5:30 p.m. Central Time once again. So, that is that. Let's see, next Thursday, I have absolutely no idea. 7:30 p.m. Central Time. I think I might have forgotten to say what time we're doing the Destiny stream tomorrow, but we'll get back to that. And then next week, we will be most likely continuing Forsaken. Destiny 2 Forsaken. So yes, Friday streams, 10 a.m. Central Time. Tuesday streams, 5:30 p.m. Central Time. Thursday streams, 7:30 p.m. Central Time. Yeah, it's pretty consistent that way. But yes. Anything else to say before we get started? Not really, I don't think. Not really. So, let's get started. Let me launch this video game. And we will talk about... I suppose we'll talk about Destiny first to get it out of the way. But yes, so... Or Destiny 2. But yeah, so sort of part of the issue of the possibility of us getting... Well, the possibility of me getting rather distracted when doing any sort of Destiny... doing a Destiny stream is the fact that the day that I happen to play Destiny is Friday, which also happens to be the day that, Xur comes to I was going to say to the tower, but the day that Xur's inventory resets. So we're always going to have something new about an hour into the stream that I'm going to want to check out and may not necessarily have the patience to wait on. And also, I feel like the game audio might be a little bit loud, so I'm going to turn that down here real quick. But yeah, one other thing is I got new headphones recently. I've got some Bear Dynamic DT770s, I think. And so I sound... Yeah, some things I would say sound very similar to how they used to be. For one thing, vocals in particular sound very different, much clearer in general. I want to clarify. These are good headphones. I like them. All of the changes that I have noted over the time that I've been using them this week, since it was Tuesday I think I got them. Yeah, all of the changes that I've noted in my sort of audio experience have been for the better, broadly speaking. But yeah, I have this newfound clarity with which I perceive vocals, which has been the biggest change for whatever reason. I don't know why. I don't know why my previous headphones were seemingly just so bad at rendering voices, but these ones, now that I hear myself in them and all that, I don't know, I'm not super satisfied with my microphone settings, and I think I'll probably be looking into changing those up a little bit. in the not too distant future. Also, let's go to the game zone. Game? There we go. Alright. Yes, headphones. Moon. But yes. Where was I? Headphones. Oh yeah, another thing. I'm trying once again to see sort of how my model... I'm trying out once again, no, I really don't like this. I really need to... I need to tweak the settings a little bit more before we commit to, eyes that aren't synced and they're blinking. So give me just a second. I will, briefly vanish, and then hopefully we will, have this fixed. Still don't have the settings at something that I appreciate. Also, I just realized I think I forgot to invite Akari over here. That's no good. Let me fix that. There we go. She's here. There she is. Alright, where was I? Yeah, I'm gonna have to play with my settings a little bit more before I can do the eye thing. Which I would like to, ideally. But yes. But yeah, so, Jamestown. We're gonna jump right in. Let's, what do we want to play? I think we'll... I'm trying to remember which... I think it was... It's been a long time since I played Jamestown, or thought a whole lot about it. To be totally honest. You know, we'll go with the default, with being. All Tales with John Smith, a side story in 2 acts. This tale begins 2 weeks ago. I had grown bored with the task of crushing our Spanish enemies on the field of battle, so I allowed myself to be captured. I was, frankly, desperate for a proper adventure. I expected to be impounded deep in the Spanish Badlands and made plans to escape with some vital intelligence or artifact or what have you. However, they shipped me out to an even more notorious site, the Black Garrison on Phobos, the jungle moon of Mars. A myth? A boogie story for noobish soldiers? Friends, I am here to tell you that the Black Garrison is entirely real. A lesser Briton might well have cracked in defiance of the Inquisition. Of course, I held fast. In the face of my stalwart resistance to interrogation, they decided I was more dead than alive. Preparations were made to hang me at dawn. As it happens, I was making preparations of my own. John Smith, indomitable adventurer, bulwark patriot, espionage hobbyist. All Tales with John Smith, Act 1 of 2, Defiance in the Black Garrison, in which Smith breaks free of the decrepit Spanish garrison on Phobos only to encounter wild terrors beyond the walls. Alright, they're not hanging anyone from there anymore. But yes, so, as I was saying, I've forgotten which button I pressed to on. Yes, I absolutely have not been keeping my skills sharp, unfortunately. At least not this game's specific skills. But yes. So, like I said, I had planned to do this, like, I think right after beating the main game of Jamestown, when I first started out. But then I ended up, speedrunning it, and so that, distracted me a little bit. Because neither Phobos here, nor Deimos, are, part of the, Jamestown any %, which is what I ran. Yeah, in fact, It is specifically Jamestown, any percent, not Jamestown Plus. Alright. Very interesting location that we're in right now. Ah, worms. But yes, so I had planned to start playing this a lot earlier, and initially I hadn't planned to do this this week, this week, or more specifically today. I hadn't planned to play Jamestown today initially, but then I realized, you know what I could do? I could play Jamestown because I couldn't. I was originally planning today to play a visual novel of some kind, but I couldn't think of one that I was interested in playing. I looked at the ones that were on my list, and none of them really grabbed me. But I just sort of, on a whim, remembered Jamestown, and I thought, that sounds like fun. Alright, this seems like a boss, most likely. Boss, the matriarch, resplendent brood queen. Alright. Ah. Oh, look at the animation on this one. Nice. Yeah, at first I thought this was some sort of spider-type creature, but it seems it's more like a beetle. She's more like a beetle, I suppose I should say. But yeah, very interesting. Oh! He's a moth. Nice. Very interesting, very interesting. But yes. So as I was saying, I'd been planning to play something else today. Couldn't decide on anything in specific, so I just sort of on a whim thought about Jamestown again and decided, you know what, we're gonna continue this after such a long time. And I'm glad I did. This is very interesting. But yeah, very dynamic. Very dynamic fight and very dynamic sprite work. But yeah, and I suppose there's a cutscene now. Tall Tales with John Smith. End of Act 1. My search of that old wreck turned up one poor sailor's remain and little else, but for a curious final message, holoscribed by the first mate. I have reproduced it here in full. Shot down by pirates off the orbit of Deimos, left to rot by queen and country, set upon by monstrous insects, and saved by a Spaniard. A Spaniard, I like. Of course, the poor chap was delirious when he made that comment about our queen. May God save her. Even so, I vowed not to sleep until these buccaneers on Deimos paid for their crimes against the crown. During the wait for a low tide betwixt the moons, I have given my fallen countrymen a proper burial. A deep chill suffused the jungle air. But I was kept warm by the undying flame of vengeance. John Smith, brooding avenger, yeoman shoveler, sometime poet. You can now purchase Armada ships in the shop. Nice. But yeah, the one thing that I'm very much interested in, laser. Ooh. But yes, one thing that I'm very much interested in is One thing I'm very interested in is sort of seeing what other option. Must be Deimos, Proto and Deimos, Super Gauntlet, Proto, Deimos. Super Gauntlet. I don't think I've done the Gauntlet at all. Come to think of it. But yes. I suppose we probably need the gauntlet in order to play the super gauntlet. Hmm. But yes, I do not know the specifics of any of these, but we're going to do Deimos. Ah, legendary, of course. Hold on. We don't need to see the prologue again. Oh wait, oh, it's off by default. My bad. Alright, so. You know what? Let's try out Lazar. A special, B special. I don't... I'm not entirely sure what I was being prompted to do there. Oh. Wait. Okay. So, this has some very exciting potential, I think. My control setup is definitely not set up to really take advantage of this, because it's very hard for me to. I'm playing on a PlayStation 4 controller, and I've got Vaunt, Shoot, and like the primary shoot and secondary shoot all mapped to. They're all mapped to face buttons, so I can. It's somewhat difficult to, but I can press Vaunt. I can press. It is hard to press Vaunt and Shoot and my secondary shot at the same time. Yeah, that's. I suppose I don't need to ever let go of my primary fire. But yeah, this is very interesting. Also, what am I? Am I a skeleton man? Well, I'm certainly a skeleton man now. It seems that if you move, this ship's shots become spread shots. Whereas if you stay put, they are more focused. Which is very interesting indeed. But yeah, I've always been interested in seeing sort of what the what implications the new ships and options in Jamestown Plus had to the speedrun, or could have for the speedrun. Again, the speedrun as it stands now, the 90% run, only includes content from the original Jamestown. To the point that I switched over to playing the original Jamestown after having sort of initially started on Jamestown Plus. But yeah, this is a very... I'm definitely going to need to change my controls if I'm going to keep using this ship, because this is extraordinarily uncomfortable hand posture. But yes, I feel like this ship is definitely... There's definitely going to be... I mean, for the Conquistador, like, alone, is going to be massively different with this ship, I think. Because maybe... I don't know, maybe the... I guess it depends on how much damage the this focus shot does, especially in comparison to the charge ship, which was, I think, sort of our MVP for most of the speedrun, if I'm remembering correctly. I think, actually, now that I think about it, I probably used it about as often as I used the other ship that we used in the run. Man, Are we gonna have to go back and watch my own speedrun, because I can't remember. I can't remember my route. I can't remember my route anymore. But yes. In short, though, this ship has some pretty significant implications, I feel like, for, you know, being able to continue to deal pretty heavy damage Like, regardless of where you are, being able to dodge and still being able to shoot a big laser at the boss or what have you. But yes, we're definitely going to need to rebind our controls here in just a second. Can we do that just inside the game, or do I have to go to the Steam options? Let's find out. Didn't need to back out there, I don't think. Probably. That's fine. It's fine as it is. Alright, it doesn't seem like I can change my controls here. So, we're gonna fix it. Gonna go into Steam controller configuration. Because yeah, I don't have my bumpers bound to anything at all. Actually, what should I... Alright, good enough. Alright. There we go. That should work. But yes, now I've got my left bumper bound to my primary fire, my right bumper bound to my secondary fire, and I still have those bound to the face buttons as well. But I've also got I didn't change the binding or bind anything else to Vaughn, because I don't think that should be necessary. Yeah, I guess we don't have another stage after this, so I guess it doesn't matter if we play Deimos on Legendary or Divine. So, for the time being, let's just play through it on Legendary. But yes, this is a very, very interesting ship. But yeah, I'm not sure... how to interact with this. Maybe I need to go to the shop. Oops. But yeah, burst beam. Yeah, we need Deimos to get the rest of these, it looks like. Also, what's in challenges? Challenge pack. Yeah, none of these seem to be the gauntlet. Anyway. Let's go to Deimos. There's much that hides beneath the windswept deserts of the furthest moon of Mars. Alright, let's see what how do I, okay. So that, doesn't seem like we have any options on this just yet. Yeah, burst and drop. So I'm guessing Tall Tales with John Smith, Part 2 of 2, from beneath the shifting sands of Deimos, in which Smith harries the last of the sand pirates who haunt the most distant moon of Mars, and other things too. Okay. Oh dear. Alright. Interesting. Very interesting. So this is almost... It's like getting shot by a crab. I mean, it is honestly very similar to the attack that crab just used. Alright, we're getting distracted by crabs and giant laser attacks. I think... Oh, whoops. Oh, I bound my controls wrong. Alright. Oh dear. Crab bucket. Alright. So we can work with this. It's not ideal, but I love this map. This stage is great. Apparently, you heard it here first, folks. All pirates are crabs. Oh dear. Oh dear. Don't bump the microphone, Tiberious Vanderfield. But yes, I'm getting very distracted by my misbindings. And also just getting used to this incredibly unusual shot type. I'm trying to think of all the places and ways that this could be useful for speed. But maybe I shouldn't do that right now. Maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I should instead focus on playing the video game. But yeah. So the burst shot isn't quite as powerful, I don't think, as I had initially expected. Let's see, does this beam do damage? It doesn't seem like it. Oh dear. But yes, so the big beam isn't super strong. It is strong though. It pierces like everything also. It pierces everything and it hits instantly. Of course, part of the issue might have just been that I wasn't keeping up Vaunt quite as much as I might otherwise and should have been. Distracted as I was. Because yeah, it's pretty strong. It seems like more of a screen clearing weapon though, I suppose, rather than a boss killing weapon. But I suppose I haven't had anything to compare it to. Oh dear. Don't like that. Alright, gotta be careful of those attacks. But yeah, the increased dynamicism, I suppose, of the enemy movements has left me a little bit distracted also. I'm not used to enemies moving around quite so much. Alright, it seems we found another temple here. Oh. Hello. The Pirate Queen, lawless brigand of the Lunar Reef. Ooh. A fine conveyance this is. Ooh, ow, oh. I just realized this is probably really good for Badlands. Prisoner of the Badlands, and potentially also... Oh dear. Yeah, I'm thinking probably not necessarily Conquistador. At least probably not as good for Conquistador as the other shot type on Lazar was, if indeed it is. If my intuition serves me. Let's see how much damage I do. Not a tremendous amount. Not as much as I would expect from the size of the laser, but I guess, again, it seems that the size of the laser, its width, is, yeah, its power is in its ability to spread out damage, rather than its ability to concentrate damage. Very interesting, very interesting. But yes, so the Warden robot, and the Last Express, I think, would probably be well served by a weapon like this that can hit, potentially... No, I was going to say potentially all of their weak points at once, but I think pretty much all of them have their weak points spread out wide enough that this single shot would not be wide enough to hit them all. But yeah, and again, I don't feel like it would necessarily be all that good for Conquistador. Also not really necessary for the Prince, Trader Prince, or, oh, what's the other one? Bane of Roanoke, Lady of the Lake, there we go. We got there eventually. Once again, I should probably focus on the task at hand rather than the potential of a new route of some sort. But yeah, all in all, I'm not super keen on this weapon. It takes some getting used to, and I haven't had the opportunity to get used to it yet. Again, I'm being a bit too forward-thinking rather than focusing on the task at hand, which is the important part right now. Yeah, I love how lively these stages are. Not to say that the other stages weren't also lovely in their own right, but they weren't anywhere near as dynamic, like I've said. Alright, let's switch our shot types to something that's a little bit more intuitive. And while I'm at it, I'm going to rebind my controls so that they're actually what I expect them to be. Alright. Change that. There we go. So this should be reasonable. Alright, there we go. Let's go with beam. Alright. Good to be back in the beam ship. It's been a long time since we used the beam ship. I think we don't use it in the route. Or I don't use it in the route anyway. Yeah, it's been a long time since I used it. Oh dear. Yeah, I just love all the little movements on these little guys. The enemies in other stages generally didn't move around quite as much. Oh dear. Yes, this is all very, very fascinating. Unfortunate. Yeah, just gotta learn the patterns. Not quite there yet, but we will be there. I do love these crabs, though. These are probably like robots or something. They look like robots. But these are the best crab robots I have ever seen, perhaps. Yes. Those scimitars always get me when I least expect them. I suppose if I did expect them, they probably wouldn't get me. Just like it's always in the last place you look. Because why would you keep looking when you've already found it? I'm not the first person to make that joke, and I won't be the last, I'm sure. Alright, so, we're in a pretty bad spot. No credits and no lives. But we can try. We can keep trying. And we will. Because we're only like 30 minutes into the stream. So it'd be foolish to stop now. Hello again. Oh, she's got a little crab trophy. Nice. Oh, and I just realized this is a crab ship. It's like held up by two crabs. Incredible. This woman is passionate about crabs. Alright. So, let's see if we can make it through. Yes, these bombs are a trouble. And my hesitation there was a trouble. You know what, let's maybe try out a ship that we use more often. We use bomber and charge, I think, bomber and charge. If I'm remembering the route correctly, which I may not be. Yeah, definitely. It may. I don't know. It's hard to tell because the big laser beam, like, covers up the enemy generally, but it still feels like this probably does more damage. And I guess it would make sense for it to do more damage, considering that it can hit fewer enemies, and certainly fewer at a time. Yeah, it covers less of the screen. Takes longer to charge up, all that. So yeah, despite not being quite as visually impactful, it is probably still stronger. And I can already feel my greater familiarity with it. Oh. You know, I kind of didn't expect those bombs to actually be able to physically hit me without exploding. Maybe I should have. But alas. Alright. Oh dear. Well, we got him. Yes, I'm focusing a little bit too much on the enemies and not enough on my own movement. Which is always the first mistake I correct whenever or the first mistake I try to correct whenever I'm trying to instruct anyone on bullet hell games. And I forgot briefly that I had rebound my controls, and I almost made a terrible mistake there. Alright, so we've got no lives, but we do have 1 credit. So effectively we have like 3 lives? Well, I'm probably miscounting. But it's fine. I forgot to open my water bottle. Hold on. There we go. Sip. But yeah, the fact that you can continue to move at full speed while charging up this this weapon is also quite nice. I was a little bit too early there. But yeah, we should focus on the pattern. Yeah, 4 shots from each of the sort of... I was going to say sort of turrets, but I guess they are turrets. There's no sort of about it. But yeah, Gatling guns maybe? I don't know. I don't know if they spin, so I don't know if they're Gatling guns per se. Alright, there we are. If I'd been just a moment quicker, I could have fired that and still been in Vaunt. I suppose I might as well go into Vaunt now. I don't know why I was hesitating. Alright, not a lot of damage to take these out. I guess probably I don't need to necessarily charge it fully. Which makes sense because these are seemingly relatively normal enemies. But yes, I love the drama, the flair. I don't like the bombs though. We've established that I'm have difficulty negotiating with bombs. Oh. Is that it? Is there another phase? Nope. Alright. Very good, very good. Pretty short little extra here. But it is what it is. All Tales with John Smith. End of Act 2. What a lucrative discovery! This self-styled pirate queen had clearly been imposing a stiff levy on passing treasure ships for years. Yea, decades. Such audacious treason, and from an audacious woman. Even now, some 2 weeks later, I'm confused by my feelings on this topic. No matter. Within the day, my new crew had shifted every last ill-gotten ducat on the ship to the ship of my choosing, the HMS Indomitable. It took a bit of hatch-battening, but she was soon skyworthy once again. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. You mean the Chaos Emeralds? Thus emptied of stolen lucre, that temple antechamber still projected a curious majesty. I do not doubt that it once served an even grander purpose. So ended my adventure behind enemy lines. 2 moons removed from my target, but hauling enough precious metal to tilt this war towards a glorious victory for the British Empire. John Smith, conflicted warrior. John Smith estate. I have not encountered this word before. Estate. Wartime economist. Alright, so we have new options available to us in the shop. New shoptions, if you will. I don't know why it's displaying new here. Unless, well, because yeah, there's nothing new here. There's space for something new, clearly. Okay, so we get these. Do we just get these, I guess? But yeah, so I guess... Okay. Oh, wait. Okay, so I think... Yeah, the ships have one of 2 different, like, secondary shots. these, Grenadoa Doe. I don't know how to pronounce that, unfortunately. Grenadoe? But yes. Those and, let's see. But yes. So they each have 2 different shot types. Or they each have 2 different secondary shot types. And then there are a number of primary shot types that are universal across all of the Jamestown Plus new ships. So I guess we'll buy all of these. Because I was expecting this to take a lot longer. Yes. So, let's look at what all these are. Autofocusing spread shot, we've seen that. Lean shot. So that, I'm assuming, means that, leans its cannons when moving. I'm assuming that means it sort of shoots in the direction that you are moving, broadly speaking. Yes. Angle shot. Shot that fires angled shots from its flank when moving. I guess I'm not 100% sure what that means either. Shot whose cannons follow you in a trail. So that reminds me a little bit of sort of how Yomu shots work in a lot of Toho games. But yes. Side shot fires forward, to the left, and to the right. And rear guard shot that fires backwards. I'm sure that's probably useful in some challenge stages, but we don't think we've encountered a whole lot of opportunities in the sort of main game to use, or where we needed to use, backwards firing shots. But yeah, so we'll pick up these. Sword made of indestructible crystal. Crystal shard that steers midair. But yes. Wield and throw 6 flash granados. Throw aimable explosives at your foes. Well, I guess we've got to try them all. Do we want to... I don't know, I feel like... Let's go back to East... Oh yeah, Gauntlet. What's Super Gauntlet? Is that the thing we have access to? Yes, okay. Yes. Okay, so Super Gauntlet... Oh, okay. So yes, so Super Gauntlet is all of the levels, whereas Gauntlet is just the main game. Sit. Yes, very interesting indeed. But yeah, another interesting thing is I noticed that I notice here that Deimos, or sorry, Phobos, is let's see, I think actually, hold on, which one's that? Is that? I think that's the mines, yeah? Yeah, and that's Phobos. Yeah, Phobos, or no. Yeah, East Frontier, Croatoa, Badlands, Phobos, Mines, New Madrid, I should say, Deimos, and then the final boss area. So yeah, so there is sort of an expected progression here, a curve like that, because I was definitely the Pirate Queen felt hard, but not hard, not harder than the final boss, which I was kind of expecting. But yeah, I suppose there's sort of there was a sort of expectation, I suppose, that you would sort of do these in, or not that you wouldn't necessarily just do all of these, all of the main game, and then go on to the DLC. Or I guess not DLC, it's included with the game. You can't purchase it separately. And I don't think it's even purchasable for the original Jamestown, Phobos and Deimos. I think those are exclusive to this game mode, or this game, Jamestown Plus, the re-release. But yes, so in order to get the Fate ship, we need to beat the Super Gauntlet, which I don't think we're going to necessarily do attempts at that yet. But yes. So we've got the 6 bomb, or we've got aim bomb. And then we've got, okay, flank. Side, reverse, lean, duckling. Okay, so spread is what we've already established. We know what spread is. Flank seems to be, as you move, one of the cannons moves to, or changes angle to shoot alongside, to shoot in the direction that you're moving. Side is pretty straightforward, and also to the sides. Reverse is pretty straight behind, and also at angles. Lean seems to be sort of the flank, but like more so. It directs all of your shots. And duckling is what we've already established. It occurs to me that I haven't tried out most of these either, I don't think. Or at least, I haven't tried out treason. Fortune looks like random. Oh. Well, let's see what we get, I suppose. Okay, this is new. Okay, this is treason, I think. This is the treason ship. Alright, so we've got... I'm not 100% sure that this is treason, but... I was thinking at first that these were sort of homing missiles, but it seems like not. So charging them up beyond what is necessary to get the most effect out of them doesn't seem to do anything else. I think these track to some degree. I don't know by what logic they track. They seem to track the largest... They seem to prioritize big enemies over small enemies, which is nice. And they also seem to... of big enemies, they seem to just focus on whichever one is closest. They also seem to have some ability to determine what enemies would be killed by their shots and what wouldn't. Because I just saw, only like 2 or so. Yeah, only that earlier. Only 2 went for the big enemy, and the others redirected themselves towards small enemies. And then just there, 3 went for the big enemy, and 1 went for the small enemy. So very interesting it is. I suppose I should turn on Vaunt, or at least I might as well turn on Vaunt. But yeah, so the tracking isn't perfect, it seems like. Or at the very least, it doesn't necessarily always prioritize what I expect it will prioritize. And yeah, we're getting close to the boss here, so we're going to want to... we should have killed that guy. But we'll get more gold here, more ducats. But yes, you can sort of keep tapping the fire button to sort of... It staggers your movement a little bit, which is perhaps less than ideal. But yeah, this could be an... Oh! Alright. Okay, so Fortune isn't just random ship. It's random ship each time you, random ship each time you die. Alright, alright. I did not intend to die there to show it off again. My buttons just sort of failed me for some reason. But maybe my controller here is not quite as reliable as I had hoped it would be. Should still be more reliable than my keyboard, which is, again, provides me with some less than optimal results I've found in my own practice. But yeah, the issue being the keyboard only accepts so many key presses at once. I noticed that, and I don't think it's as much of a problem in other stages, but I noticed that problem mostly in, what was it? Croatoa. Though I think that may have just been an issue of that was the only time that I was really looking out for it. More so than that being the only stage in which it really matters. Yeah, speed and missiles. Yeah, random ship. Yeah, ghost and sword. Pearl, explosive barrels. I'm pretty sure we've used all these at this point. But yes, so laser, we've used that. We've used both forms of laser. We've not used Granado, though. Let's try 6-bomb duckling. Okay, so yes, so it seems like the bombs are a little bit, yeah, they're... Oh, hold on. Also, another interesting note is that they do shoot out from, like, where they spawn. Okay, yes, you can get bombs back before depleting all of them, so you don't need to fire off all 6 shots. But yeah, and so the ducklings, as the game puts it, don't seem to be quite like Yomu's spirits in Toho games, in that you can't sort of just go up and down in place, not really moving, but still sort of drawing them to you. You do have to, or rather they try to keep a certain distance from you, it seems like. Or rather, they only move towards you when you get a certain distance away from them. Very interesting. But yeah, so if you want to line them all up for a shot, and the bosses are usually pretty big, so I don't think they really need to be super lined up necessarily. But yeah, this is very interesting indeed. But yeah, bosses are usually pretty big, so I guess you don't necessarily need to have them all sort of in a row, or at least it's not as beneficial as it is in Toho, where the bosses are generally pretty small. They don't take up a whole lot of room on screen, or at least the hitboxes aren't very large, I should say. Because as we know from our own selves, it's not the sprite that matters necessarily, in so much as it is the hitbox. But yes, this is definitely a very interesting ship. Yeah, of course, I've also picked probably a pretty complex shot type here also, which is not which is probably contributing to the impression of this ship being somewhat difficult to control. But yeah, the 6-shot shot type seems like it'd be very interesting to optimize. But at the same time, it's hard for me to think of a niche for it. Or speed, I suppose. You know, I think can be fun just in casual play, but I'm sort of thinking a whole lot in terms of fast, of go fast. But yes, so spread. Well, do we want spread? We'll keep spread. Spread's pretty standard. We don't want to change too many variables, I suppose, from evaluating shot type to shot type. Okay. So this... Okay, you can hold down the special or the secondary button. Okay. You can hold it down to get it to stay in place. Other than that, though, it tries to go in the opposite direction that you are facing, or that you are moving, even if you don't actually move, necessarily. Man, this would be a really weird combination with Ducky, or Duckling. That would make it very hard to, you'd have to do a lot of very precise movement if you wanted to get anything even close to a positive result. Oops. But yeah, of course, the fact that you can hold down, and yeah, there's no, or rather, the game does have a sort of, it's a bit forgiving, you know. You can fire it, and then tap the button again. Yeah, it's not like it starts aiming your shots like the second that you let go of the button. Or probably within the second, but not the exact same frame, to be more precise. So yeah, so you can pretty precisely control or keep your shots consistent even while moving around. Ow. Alright, I'm getting too enamored with my new shot type. Alright. But yes, this is definitely interesting to optimize, I imagine. But yeah, a good way to keep pressure up on bosses, I think, while avoiding them, in theory. In practice, it may not be so, but in theory, it feels like it could be very interesting. A challenging shot type, to be sure. But yes, it remains to be seen how much the how much reward the risk implies. Because yeah, again, this seems to be a very... oh dear. The Granado ship, just in general, seems to be sort of a high risk, high reward, a little bit technical, and more sort of burst fire type of weapon, or burst damage type of weapon, type of ship, conveyance. One of those combinations of words is correct, just in your mind, delete all the ones that are incorrect. But yes. So it seems it's very technical. It's a good fit for the Pirate Queen, I feel like. It's a ship that is sort of dramatic and flashy. Sit. It's a shame it doesn't involve crabs in any way, though. Alright. Espada and Corazon. We'll keep spread again, for consistency's sake. So I'm assuming that this Espada is not quite the same as the other Espada. It's similar, though. Or no, actually... no, it's quite different, I think. Because the other... okay. Okay. But yeah, the other one, I'm struggling to remember how exactly the other Espada ship. Actually, it may not have been Espada. It might have had a different name. I'm struggling to remember it a little bit, but I think its sort of gimmick was that you could like leave the shot, the sword, the Espada, like elsewhere, while you moved around, sort of like the beam on the Lazar, the Type A beam on the Lazar. Whereas the gimmick with this one seems to be that it has as long as you are firing, you have a big crystal sword that has a constantly active hitbox. And then you can press the sort of the gunner, like the gunner ship, you can press your secondary fire button to change the angle of the sword. Yeah, it doesn't seem to do quite as much damage as I might like from how short ranged it is. It does seem like... I get hit often by that attack, or that little pattern there. It feels like it's not 100% consistent, where the bullets sort of like intertwine and stuff. But yeah, it may just be that spread perhaps isn't the strongest shot type in the game. Or the Armada spread isn't the strongest. But yeah, I haven't found any of these. Well, again, it's probably not that they're underperforming. It's probably just that I'm used to the extraordinarily high performance of Bomber and Charge, which are both very technical in their own right, and have a lot of limitations that lend themselves well to a reasonably balanced game where more complex options are generally more powerful. But yeah, very, very interesting. Still not 100% sure what that new prompt was. I don't think I'm missing anything. Super Gauntlet. Do we want to do Super Gauntlet attempts? I'm not super confident in my ability to do Super Gauntlet right now. Crystal shard that steers midair. Sword made of indestructible crystal. Oh, was I using the Type B instead of... Oh. I guess it doesn't matter which I use first, but I had thought that I would use Type A and then Type B. That being a bit more, what's the word I'm looking for? Intuitive in my mind. Oh, that is Type A and Type B. Well, it is what it is. So, let's find out how this works. Steers in midair. Either it homes in, or it doesn't, I guess. Ah, okay, so we've got to hold it down. Interesting, interesting. But yeah, so it's in a lot of ways similar to the charge ship, except that you can aim it. And you seem to have some control over its speed as well as its heading. It's quite strong. But yeah, given the how much I relied on the charge ship in my route, if any ship comes close to sort of unseating it, this could be the one. Yeah, that said, it is very slow. Which again, could be, well, not could be, definitely is a good thing against a lot of these bosses, because again, as we've established, the bosses in this game are very large. Of course, it is pretty inconsistent. Not inconsistent. It's not always active, is the thing. I don't always have the option to fire off a crystal shot like this. Whereas I can pretty much always, you know, start firing off another charge shot as soon as I have concluded my previous one. But yeah, the ships in this pack thus far seem to be good for sort of good for a challenge. They seem to be more built towards challenging yourself rather than just sort of being straight up more powerful than ships in the DLC or the base game. Which is good, I suppose. It's good that they didn't just sort of feel the need to just make new options more attractive by making them better. They seem to have, they have accounted for, or their way of attracting players to use these seems to be to say, hey, these are challenging for you, a person who is into our very challenging game and presumably likes a challenge. But yeah, I feel like this could very easily fill a lot of roles that are fulfilled by Charge. It's not as consistent as Charge, I feel like. You know, it's sort of the ability to aim it and move it around mid-air is potentially very strong. I'm not sure what I really want to use it for, though. Because it feels like you're going to lose out on a lot of DPS by just sort of there not being a crystal there a lot of the time. But yeah, this is very interesting. It's very interesting, all of these options that we have. And I haven't even, like, looked into the shot types. How does this... yeah. Okay, so you have the sword, and you can leave your attacker to separate, or your shots to separate off from you. Okay. Fate. The icon for Fate. I don't know if that's just a mystery icon because I don't have it yet, but it looks like almost like it looks like a counterpart to Fortune. So maybe Fate is just you get a ship and that's your ship. You don't get to choose it, you just get it. Whereas Fortune is you get a new ship each time you die. Which could be very interesting. It doesn't really have any strong implications for the run, I don't think. Because I can't see a situation, unless like Fate and or Fortune have like, are stronger than normal ships. Like their normal counterpart that you can actually manually choose. Sip. But yeah, that's the only situation in which I can see them being useful to the run. Very interesting, very interesting. But yeah, I think we'll keep the Espada. Spread, flank, side, reversed, lean, duckling. Let's go with flank for now. Alright, so yes, so it is based on your angle. But yeah, going forward or back causes your shots to realign. Going to the side causes them to spread out, but only for a little while. Only for a little while. Ow. But yeah, very interesting. Hmm. But yeah, this is definitely an option that feels like a convenience more than anything. Lean is sort of a, well, because yeah, it isn't quite like Gunner, because it doesn't stay on target forever. Yeah, it doesn't stay on target until you direct otherwise. I shouldn't say forever. Yeah, it doesn't stay on target until you retarget the way that Gunner does, which makes it a little bit less desirable for sort of bosses where you might need to move around in order to, you want to move around in order to avoid their shots or what have you, but still want to keep DPS on them. This feels like more of a, to borrow an MMO term, an ad clear weapon of sorts. Because yeah, you only get the, one stream of bullets sort of on the boss if you're relying on that to hit them from indirectly. And then if you're trying to hit them directly, but you're having to sort of dodge back and forth, it may just sort of not be a great option on Espada, the Crystal Espada. Yeah, due to the sword wanting you to get up close, and being close to the enemy requiring you to sort of dodge back and forth. Yeah, very interesting indeed, I think. But yeah, lean is okay. I'm not super thrilled by it. Can we? Seems like we. Oh no. No, we can't rebind the controls here. But if you go to the big red button that says rebind controls, that might be what you can use to rebind the controls. Then you wouldn't need to go into the Steam options to rebind your controls. Then you could just rebind the controls there. Yeah, for consistency's sake, for the sake of changing as few variables as possible, we're going to choose Espada, Crystal Espada, and go with side. Again, this seems to be more of a shot type for normal enemies, more so than it is a shot type for that's good for boss damage. Maybe Last Express? Maybe? Depending. Yeah, again, I feel like it's probably not one that's great for Espada or Crystal Espada, Crystal Type A. I guess it depends on how strong this central shot is versus how strong these secondary shots are. Ow. But yeah, I like the variety. I like having all these various options. In the context of casual play, I'm sure that they're a lot of fun, even if in the context of a speedrun, they aren't necessarily, there's going to be probably, if not necessarily one ship that is good for every situation, there's going to be optimal ships, most likely. Just in terms of whichever one can deal the most damage the fastest, most consistently. I don't think there's any, random ships. Like, ships that have sort of random damage on them. Except, I guess, fortune and possibly fate, depending on what fate is. Because we're still not clear on that, necessarily. Alright, take these out. I wonder if this sort of like spiky or crystal mass near my hitbox is more damaging. Unfortunate. But yeah, if nothing else, this seems to be a suboptimal choice for Trader Prince. Because Trader Prince likes to shoot a lot of aimed shots directly at you. I guess that's what an aimed shot is. Likes to aim shots at you, and the shots come from sort of the center of the Trader Prince's hitbox. Whereas a lot of other bosses that have aim shots, you know, they sort of shoot off from one side or the other, sometimes alternating between the sides. And thus you can, it's probably more feasible to get up close to the boss and stay closer to the boss than it is on Crystal Espada. Crystal Type A. Of course, I am also assuming that I'm acting under the assumption that, or I'm sort of guessing that maybe, yeah, I don't know. I never really made a conscious, I never had a conscious thought about this, but I was sort of acting like, and I voiced this, this question earlier, whether or not the spikier bit of the sword was more damaging than the rest of the sword. But if the tip of the sword is as damaging as any part of it, or if there's like, you know, basically if it's all just the same, no matter what part of the sword you hit them with or how much of the sword you hit them with, then I don't need to be that close. But yeah, very interesting. Very interesting. So yeah, again, the split shot type doesn't seem like it's super, or a side rather, doesn't feel like it's super geared towards what I specifically am looking for, which is to say high boss damage. Because that is, broadly speaking, the part of a speedrun of this game. It is all about boss damage. Defeating these small enemies quickly is secondary at best. And it's more so just about not getting hit. Even then, getting hit is not a huge deal, just as long as you don't die. I mean, you can even, well, dying and getting hit are the same thing, because you only have one hit point, because it's a bullet hell. What I mean to say is that I really wish that my controller wouldn't act up like this. What I mean to say is that, what do I mean to say? And I guess some other observations. You know, it's kind of hard to get like bosses behind you in a lot of cases, to get behind them. So unless these two shots that I'm shooting out the front are exceptionally powerful, I guess you can get behind Lady of the Lake pretty easily. And in fact, you do get behind Lady of the Lake a lot for, I try to anyway, for a good portion of her fight. You know, whenever she is shooting the big laser. So having a backwards firing shot could be useful for Lady of the Lake specifically. Because yeah, right now, my route is dominated by two ships, Charge and Bomber, as I recall. I use Charge for, I think, I don't remember if actually, come to think of it, I don't know if the levels can be, like, evenly split like I was thinking of them as. Because I seem to remember them being, you know... I was talking about how it's hard to get behind bosses, and then you can get behind Trader Prince here. But yeah, my backward shots do seem to do quite a bit of damage, actually. My forward shots are much, much weaker, but then again... No, yeah, they're definitely weaker. Definitely significantly weaker, which is what I expected. Of course, getting the best DPS out of this also depends on the boss being wider, probably. And come to think of it, there's definitely a lot of bosses that I can get behind. You can probably get behind all of them, actually. Because, yeah, for some reason, you can't get behind Conquistador. You can't get behind Conquistador. Let me go to the map so I can think. But yeah, so you can get behind Trader Prince. That's probably pretty good getting behind him, because it means you don't have to dodge his shots so much. Again, it depends on sort of, I guess, the DPS of this backwards firing shot. But you don't have to dodge as many shots this way, anyway. You don't have to get off to the side and all that. But yeah, Dark Sector. Lady of the Lake was, you know, the first boss that came to mind when I was starting to think of bosses that I could get behind and that I might want to get behind. I don't think you can get behind the Sentry. At least, I don't... Probably? I don't know that you would want to. Honestly, like, the charge shot dismantles the Sentry so hard that I really can't think of any... I can hardly conceive of wanting to do, like, use any other shot type against him. But yes, the Last Express is in a similar situation in that it gets just dismantled by charge shot so quickly and so easily that it's hard to imagine using another shot type. And then, let's see, Conquistador Phase 1 is probably also pretty hard to get behind, if, well, impossible to get behind. It shouldn't be possible to get behind the Conquistador in Phase 1, I don't think. But yes, so that's pretty hard, I imagine. And then it should be possible in Phase 2, I think. I don't think you'd necessarily want to, because that would make it harder to pop the bubbles, which are necessary. But I guess you could get behind them and then go behind the Conquistador. But that feels... I don't know, I feel like this is another situation where, you know, the ability to, in theory, you know, shoot through a bubble with a charge shot from the charged ship, and then have that charge shot continue on and hit the Conquistador, is almost too good to pass up. Sit. I'm trying to remember what ships we use for which levels. I think this is a charge level. This is a bomber level. This is another charge level. Yeah, this is definitely a charge level. I think I wanted this to be a bomber level. I think. But I think I might have gone with charge in the end. Well, let's follow the other impulse I had and test out Lazar against the normal Lazar. Want to try any of these? Let's see what lean is like, I suppose. But yes, so Badlands seems okay. Yeah, it's very similar to lean, but more so, basically. And I've picked the wrong shot type. Hold on. Similar to lean, but more so. I don't know that I like... or lean? Sorry. Flank and lean. Okay, this is lean, this is flank. I feel like I like flank more. I feel like I don't really want to use I don't want my all of my shots to change direction just based on my movement, because my movement is not quite so precise that I can keep up the damage and still like move to avoid things. Alright, so this makes me very slow. It makes me very slow, and I can't like shoot my normal shots until I'm like fully charged up, which is kind of a pain. Oh, and yeah, you can't shoot this prematurely to any degree either. But yeah, this one is hard to use, but I feel like if there's a stage that this would be good for, it's probably this one. Because this is a stage that has a lot of like enemies, you know, that like, it has a lot of enemies. It's a stage that has a lot of enemies on screen at once. Honestly, I feel like this is a weapon type there's probably a lot of weapon types in this game that are better for co-op than they are for single player, which I'm doing right now on account of not having anyone else to play this game with. But yeah, there's no online co-op, I don't think. So yeah, local multiplayer. I mean, you could do like the Steam co-op multiplayer, or other like what's that other thing? There's another similar service that I'm thinking of, but I can't remember the name of it. But yeah, so this shot definitely deals less damage than a charged shot. It's pretty strong though. It's still pretty strong though. Oh dear. Dread Sentry. I think I called this thing the Warden before, but it's definitely not the Warden. Okay. Yeah, this is good. This is good against Dread Sentry also. Like, no joke, this is super strong. I was expecting that, to be honest. And I'm glad that I've played this game enough that I can have knowledge about it. Game sense. But yeah, in a theoretical co-op speedrun, probably a lot of these sort of burst damage options would be a lot stronger. Just due to the fact that there's other, you can supplement for your lack of sort of sustained damage by having someone else who's good for sustained damage, or simply, destroy everything so quickly with all of your screen clearing shots that you don't even need sustained damage necessarily. But yeah, honestly, this is really good for Prisoner of the Badlands, I think. Yeah, this is a really good shot type for this stage, I think. Or I guess this is a ship, not a shot type technically. Because yeah, the laser here is ship specific. It is the B type laser, B type laser ship. Yeah, charge isn't quite as long as I had thought it was. It is still a bit punishing if you miss the timing. But if you can keep the tempo of it, you move kind of slow, and you don't have the sort of more reliable secondary shots. But you do have this really good, you know, I called the ship out. I commented on the ship not having so much sustained damage potential before. But if you can keep timing this right, you can actually fire a nearly continuous beam that like covers like a solid, like, not a fourth, but like a massive area of the screen and does like a lot of damage. Alright, that didn't quite get the job done like I was hoping it would, but yeah, this is really strong against Red Sentry. A little bit weaker against his final phase, actually. But I feel like it clears the first phase, or the first like 3 phases, basically, so much faster that it really almost doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that it loses time on the final phase, because it's so fast on the first like 3. Sit. And so now, we're going to see how it performs in New Madrid. Because I was thinking that would also be... that would be another level where the... Nope. Wrong one. Wrong one. Well, do we wanna? Might as well, I guess. We're here. This is probably a decent level to use this shot type in. If not a spectacular one. Because yeah, not being able to move the your big beam around quite as freely as you could with the normal beam chip definitely makes this feel a little bit weaker for this stage in particular. It's still a strong option, I think. Just not quite as strong as it could be. But yeah, I feel like this is going to be a really good shot type for the Conquistador. Ship type for the Conquistador. A good ship for the Conquistador. Now, before we just... back in my day, just a few months ago, you only had to worry about ships. You didn't have to worry about ships have different types of sub-ships or whatever. You didn't have to worry about ships potentially having different shot types. No, no, no. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of options here. And of course, as with any sort of speedrunning thing, not all of them are necessarily going to be optimal. But I definitely feel like a lot of these have very good potential to be very fast and very strong. And you know, you might also just enjoy using them, if you can imagine that. Playing a game for fun. Wow. I've got to say, even though I'm joking here a lot about being so focused on improving my time in this game that I'm not having fun, but I am having fun a lot. I am having a lot of fun. But yeah, this, if I could remember, I don't remember where the weak points spawn immediately on this boss. If I did, right here, I think, actually, yeah. But yeah, with a bit better positioning, you could actually, yeah, you could do a lot of damage with this shot type as well. I'd been thinking of it. I'd been thinking of the other ship type. It does go off screen though. Because yeah, yeah, this might be a little bit less than ideal. Because, yeah, it seems to maintain, like, an absolute position. Or it tries to maintain an absolute position. Even whereas the, you know, the Last Express here is sort of moving back and forth in space. Which makes it a bit, yeah, it's okay during the stage itself. It's okay during the stage itself, and it's, in theory, it should be pretty decent for, you know, allowing you to hit multiple of these weak points at once. Or to, you know, hit weak points while avoiding bullets. But of course, with the ability to hit enemies with impunity also comes the downside that you don't really have as much aim. You don't have as much control over where you aim and how you aim and all that. So this was decent. But I expect great things. I expect great things out of New Madrid with the Type B laser. And do any of these... I don't think any of these really pique my interest. I've definitely got to stretch a little bit more. I should, like, I should make stretch breaks part of my stream. But yeah, this shot type gets things done, too, in this level. But yeah, I definitely like the fact that this is a game where, thus far, or well, yeah, the speedrun as it exists now, you know, allows you to change which ship you're using between from level to level, which opens up a lot of very interesting routing decisions that wouldn't really be there if we just had to pick a ship and live with it. But yeah, not that other speedrun game or other bullet hells don't necessarily have interesting routing in them. But it's more so, you know, an optimization puzzle. Or like, I mean, it's an optimization puzzle here, too. All speedrunning is an optimization puzzle, where the optimization is for the best time. But like, it's an optimization puzzle where, you know, you don't just sort of have to decide, okay, which character, or which ship, or which one shot that you have for the entire thing is the best. You get the option to sort of switch back and forth, like what's the best for this level? What's the best for that level? It's much closer to sort of an individual level type of thing. Sort of a individual level sum of best. Or a not individual level sum of best, but like it is. Yeah. Pardon. Need to reactivate my brain here for a second. But yeah. You aren't going to only be playing one character if you want the fastest time or what have you. You're going to be using a bunch of different ships over the course of a single run. Ah. Oh, we still got it. We still got it in the one cycle. Nice. Oh yeah, this is really good. This is really good for this boss, actually. I had expected as much, but I hadn't expected it this much. Alright, alright. A little bit suboptimal there. I think we lost a little bit of time. Yeah, and we didn't get the one cycle there like we do with charge. Or like we can with charge, I guess. We maybe could if my laser tempo was a little bit better. But yeah, very interesting to think about. But yes, if you came into this stream expecting something more akin to a casual playthrough, thank you for your patience. Yeah, I think we're gonna wrap up here. I'm very excited. I wanna keep theory crafting and stuff. I'm very excited to be back into the world of Jamestown again. But I also need to go to bed. Not immediately, not immediately. But I do need to go to bed at some point. I do need to sleep. And I can't necessarily stay up all night routing. Or at least I'm not going to allow myself to. It wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. Actually, it would be pretty bad, actually, because I have a stream tomorrow morning, and I do need to, be conscious for that. So, we'll end things here. This has been a lot of fun. This was a bit of a spur-of-the-moment decision, but also it was a lot of fun, and I'm excited to be thinking about the Jamestown speedrun again. I'm not going to work a whole lot on routing and getting optimal times and whatnot right now, because I don't want to focus too much on any one project during this time. I've already put a lot more time than I was expecting to and wanting to necessarily into the Destiny 2 project. Again, not to imply that I haven't been enjoying Destiny 2, the one time we've played it so far. But I put more time into that than I was hoping to, basically. Because I was wanting, under normal circumstances, that would be no issue. But right now, I am wanting to reduce the amount of time, or to not spend too long on any one game, until we get back into the sort of swing of things, playing the same game multiple days per week. But yeah, anyway. Alright, so, Jamestown. A lot of fun, but we're done for right now, for tonight, and for the immediate future. But not forever. Not forever, far from it. But yes, so, let us take a moment to collect ourselves, and let's go over the schedule, calmly and concisely, and then let us get on our way with the raid and all that. So, tomorrow, we'll be playing Destiny 2, Forsaken. We'll be continuing the Forsaken storyline. We'll be focusing a little bit more on that, because I only spent about half the stream doing one mission of Forsaken last week. So, I'm going to aim for more Forsaken this upcoming week. This upcoming Friday. So, concise. We're going to focus more on the storyline. We're not going to focus as much, if any, on PvP content, or just other non-story related content in general. Then, on Tuesday, we'll be continuing our collab series with Altariana, Sheppy Sheps, and Judokami. We have been, focusing on the Borderlands series. We are currently in Borderlands the pre-sequel. But yeah, can't guarantee that we will necessarily be playing that, all stream on next Tuesday, or at all on stream next Tuesday. But it's a very good chance that we will. But yeah, so you can also expect, usually we play, we start a lot earlier, we go until about the same time, sometimes a little bit later. So we end up doing pretty long streams on collab days. But yeah, it's a bit more of it's a bit looser atmosphere, I would say, more sort of not that I'm necessarily particularly formal or super precise in my speech or mannerisms or anything like that, but it's a little bit more relaxed, I would say, for anyone who is not super familiar with the collab streams that I do. But yes, yeah, it's a very different vibe, I would say. But yes, so where was I? Concise. Okay. So that'll be on Tuesday. Next Thursday, we have no idea what we'll be playing yet, as per usual. I want to start to try. I was going to say try to start, but I guess start to try works too. But I want to start having these schedules, like having like a schedule, that I put out a schedule like at the start of the week, so that you all can sort of plan and sort of if you see something that you're excited about, you can sort of plan around. Okay, I want to see this at such and such time, or whatnot. Just have a little bit more of I don't know what I'm saying here. I want to put out a schedule, basically, and I'm not used to picking out our Thursday games like ahead of time. Like usually I pick them either the day before or the day of. In this case, it was the day of. But yeah, honestly, I mean, I picked the game. I finally settled on like Jamestown Plus as the game that we would play like minutes before the stream started, or minutes before I put out the post, the Twitter post, saying what game that I was going to be playing, which was itself only about 30 minutes before the stream started. Yeah, like up until that point, I was downloading other games, thinking, do I want to play this? Do I want to play that? But ultimately, again, I settled on this game. I had been considering it for over a day, but I only committed to it, just a few short hours ago. Concise. But yeah, anyway, I think the point that I was trying to make is that I found it hard to sort of think about. I don't know. I like the Thursday streams for the flexibility it offers me. That it gives me the opportunity to sort of, just sort of go with the flow and play whatever it is I want to play. Especially because I tend to forget things a lot. I tend to forget things a lot. So if I, and like not keep up with news and stuff, like usually. Like, if something new and exciting comes out, and I only just realize it as like a Friday is coming around, or as a Thursday stream is coming around, usually I'll sort of last minute reschedule to play that, whatever the new exciting thing is. But yeah, I think we will schedule. I'll try to schedule in a Thursday game, like make a decision at the start of the week what we're going to do on Thursday. But I will do so, and with the expectation that I can and will change it if I feel so led. And of course, I can change anything at any time. But I like to stick with a schedule. Like the reason, like I find it like I enjoy sticking to a schedule, basically. It helps me stay focused. It helps me to sort of manage things. It's I find it quite stressful often to sort of have to be making decisions and having a consistent schedule of like we're gonna play this game on this day at this time, and having what did I just knock over? Hand sanitizer. But yeah, having a consistent schedule sort of helps me to stay focused and all that on what I'm doing, rather than, trying to think, oh, whatever, But, concise. Then next Friday we're going to play Destiny. So, Destiny 2. Still feel the need to clarify that. So, Friday streams, just in general, 10 a.m. Central Time. Tuesday streams, 5:30 p.m. Central Time, usually longer, usually play multiple games, always a collab with, sometimes not everyone's there immediately, sometimes not everyone's there at all, but the collab group is Altariana, Sheppy Sheps, and Judokami. And then Thursday streams are 7:30 p.m. Central Time, pretty much always. I want to start coming up with ideas earlier about what we play, but keep in mind that the Thursday game in particular is subject to change. But yeah, so I guess sort of I've gotten into the routine of thinking of this as a break-in routine of just sort of a day when I can freely decide what I want to play. So I guess, yeah, I will, or our schedule posting, we'll post an idea, more so than anything, of what I want to play on the upcoming Thursday. And then, once that Thursday rolls around, we may or may not stick with that initial idea. I think that is the plan that I will execute on. Alright, so I think that's all of the thoughts that I wanted to get out at this particular moment in time. Because yeah, I've talked about my microphone and all that. I got a new mouse. I talked about that on Friday, I think. I talked about my new mouse and my new headphones. Did I say microphone? I think I might have said microphone. I meant headphones. I think I talked about those both a little bit on Tuesday. But yeah, in more depth here. Okay, I'm officially out of things to talk about. So let us get a raid set up. Let's see. Yeah, let's go and drop by Fairy Faye's stream. Why not? It's been a while since we've seen her. So we are going to raid Fairy Faye. Fairy Faye. There we go. Our raid message is, as always, we have arrived. And so, once again, clearly, concisely, tomorrow we are playing Destiny 2 Forsaken, 10 a.m. Central Time. Next Tuesday, we are going to be continuing our collab series. Most likely we will be playing some Borderlands, the pre-sequel. We may not, and we're probably going to be playing another game in addition to that, one way or another. That will all be on at 5:30 p.m. Central Time, give or take. Managing 4 people's schedules is not always super easy, so sometimes it gets away from us a little bit. But whatever it will be, will be. Then next Thursday, we haven't decided yet, and next Friday, you'll be continuing Destiny 2 Forsaken. So, thank you all for being here. I hope you have had a fine night. I hope that you will continue to have a fine night, and I hope that you'll be well until the next time I see you. Farewell. Let us get this raid underway.